how to make me fall for you. You should learn that on your own. I play cool.
Bichon picks up and they've got a short field. They've got another goal. It's tied up at 12. I cannot believe what I'm seeing.
Can Lola Dam chase that one down? That is a score for Härslinger Elferkel. Fantastic run by Julia Lutz.
We're on a mission to make Ultimate huge.
And we believe that requires knocking down the paywall.
We want our videos and live streams to be free to watch, and we want them to go viral.
When you become a member, you enable us to improve our working relationships with tournament organisers, events and federations.
And you'll help us to produce live stories for Ultimate fans, and to generate new fans with our enhanced content.
We are a group of Ultimate players, coaches and video enthusiasts, and we want to bring you coverage on a more consistent basis. We want to make stories that not only reach you,
but also reach people outside the Ultimate community.
Ciao ragazzi, support the community.
Let's subscribe ULTI.TV. There's lots of the videos, posting, everything. Check it out. They are the best one. Woo!
If you want to grow Ultimate Sports, become a member of ULTI.TV.
Regardez ULTI.TV.
Deviens un membre d'ULTI.TV et fais grandir ta communauté.
Top ULTI.TV, Telme, Eroginkime, Ultimate Vendromene.
Si quieres ayudar a ULTI.TV, puedes ser miembro de ULTI.TV.
Everyone, follow ULTI.TV on Instagram, on YouTube. They've got everything.
Best content.
Like their pictures if you love Frisbee, just do it.
We're counting on you.
Bli medlem på ULTI.TV.
Became member
of ULTI.TV.
Mamma mia.
Contribue au développement d'Ultimate avec ULTI.TV.
Like and subscribe, ULTI.TV, the best in the world.
We want to grow Ultimate.
we want to grow Ultimate. We've worked with the major federations and the greatest events.
We have our signature style 2-camera setup,
with thousands of hours of experience.
and our crew is globally dispersed to facilitate coverage everywhere around the world. We can also scale back our broadcast with just one elevated camera, or scale up with 2 fields, 2 cameras, and 2 commentators on each.
We work with local teams and we all have the same mission, to grow the sport and bring it to new people by providing live coverage and new stories.
Become a member today on our Patreon page.
And fund our work to cover more events in the future, and to bring more stories, ideas and live coverage to the eyes of the Ultimate world and beyond.
Right now,
He's gonna have to bid. Just a football.
Huge layout block, unbelievable stuff on the front corner of the end zone.
Maybe just that boost of energy they needed.
Huge swing pass and a great grab there from Spear.
Always on the move? You can keep up to date with ULTI.TV on all of our social media channels. Like, follow, subscribe, share us with a friend, or send us a message just to say hey. Thank you for supporting us in our mission to grow Ultimate everywhere.
Welcome back to the European Ultimate Indoor Championships 2022 in Lithuania. We have our second women's division semi-final. It's Sweden up against Great Britain. And these two teams, we have to favour the Swedes thus far, yet to take a loss this tournament. We just watched a fantastic semi-final between the Netherlands and, of course, favourites coming into this tournament, Lithuania, as first seed. I'm not going to spoil the result of that one just in case you're watching these in post. But if you haven't seen it yet, I recommend you do so. Fantastic game between two very talented teams. So Great Britain starting this game on defence. They've struggled so far this tournament with coming out strong, leaving themselves in holes before. But of course that was the difference maker in their semi-final where they bested Latvia. Jekland popping it back. Angergold finds Viktorsen, the lefty, who if GB can find a game plan to shut down, that will be a big difference maker. So they put one of their best defenders, Shona Whiteley, matching up against the youngster. Gets away from her though. The lefty flick. Sara Eklund with the first goal for Sweden. Just a nice simple hold. That'll do. And I have to correct my earlier error, and thank you, Sarah, for coming and correcting me. Sarah is actually the younger of the two sisters, not the elder. So about a year and a half, so about 18 months between the two siblings. Sophia just has that extra bit of wisdom, I guess. But it's almost, it seems like a cheat code having two Jekland sisters. But GB's turn to respond. Alexandra Hiley, who had a fantastic day at the office in their quarter-final matchup. Fozard as well. Nice poach off from Holmlund, stops that first pass upfield. It would have been a bit more of a gainer for Fozard. Hiley reaching across the pitch, and there's going to be a smackdown. Oh, to Holmlund, generating the block. And there we go, in very fast fashion, the Swedes convert and take this opening score 2-0. Put my teeth back in. This game is going to be an absolute grind for GB. Such a talented squad are the Swedes. But there's plenty of time left on the clock. 42-minute long for regulation time. If you're with us today, please just give us a shout. Say where you're tuning in from in the live chat. Pleasure to have you with us. Katie Flight taking off up pitch. Has Gemma Henry just shy of the goal line, have to hustle it backwards. Mila Confornier with the job of largely standing still in the end zone and waiting for her opportunity. Might have to clear out and leave space for somebody else. Well matched up against Renström. Poach is available, takes Henry. Whiteley coming through. Dishes. Plenty of centre pitch space. Might have to be a chuck it and hope. No, finds the reset. Then Flight being matched up by Oda Holmlund, then opens up the around backhand. Shona Whiteley puts the first on the board for Great Britain. Shout out to AD Fletcher 1 in the chat. It's been present, I think, on all of the GB live streams we've done for the women's division. Of course, at many an ultimate tournament, you do get some partners and parents on the side. We've got some parents who've flown out to Lithuania to come watch some Frisbee. Some, in fact, long-term followers, following their kids through the juniors programs. So you see Eklund racing up and hitting an easy shot. Vendela Viktorsson. Well, already said they've got to have a game plan to try and nullify the impact of players like Eklund, and particularly Vendela Viktorsson. Not so much finding herself throwing super creatively, but she's a lefty and she's so very rapid. And it's just that difference maker of a slightly different force, slightly different way of executing those throws. Most players, of course, are much like playing against someone in tennis who's a lefty. You get used to playing against people who are right-handed in terms of where you position yourself, how you play. So those lefties get that sneaky little extra advantage. Hannah Quinn taking a big bit of shoulder from Eriksson. Flight, another backhand around. This time for the captain, Mélenchon Fournier. And plenty of vocal support from the balcony. So another backhand around gives GB their second point of the game. Hailey and Fossard on the end of that line was so pivotal during GB's quarter-final, where they snuck through. Although hats off to Lulu Boyd for getting that run-through catch block. The Swedes had a much easier time of it coming through this morning. Their matchup. Less of a challenge, but Tanja Fossard is going to step up to the hockey on that one and snag the block. Things becoming a little bit too predictable, perhaps. Fossard, I believe, having played University Ultimate for Huddersfield, one of the lesser-known programs in the UK. Big forehand, not forehand fake. Strip call on the far sideline. That did look like it stopped quite securely in Sarah Hills's breadbasket. So the scuba fake, Alex Hailey loves the scuba fake. That's what I couldn't quite say. And it sold Sara Eklund so hard that she turned around to see where the disc had gone. So now Boyd swinging across. Fossard could have hung out in the space a little bit. Gordon grinding towards the sideline, but didn't quite connect with the disc. A tall player trying to catch a low throw. Angegård looking for it. Fossard on the attack. Nearly gets her second block of this game. Now we'll take the match against Viktorsson. You can see how she has a little think and look at it. Gordon trying her best to get up in the money. Eklund running towards the line. But a bit too much touching from the mark of Tanja Fossard. And then Viktorsson just asking for a bit more space, saying, you know, contact's all well and good, but less touching. Contested. So it's going to come in, stalling 4. Casual toss pass from Viktorsson. Such a confident player, and he's going to get the score. The blade over the top. It was a great effort from Great Britain, but the block isn't generated that second time. Squandered opportunity, but the Swedish 5 that they like to put out on offense are just so good. Whether or not they're on offense or defense, very capable players. So getting a break off of them, tricky. Got a little bit of love in the chat for the Swedes. I have no idea how to correctly pronounce your surname, Oscar, but hello to you, Oscar Valen. Or Vorlen, maybe. But GB starting their offense. Henry grinding under. had the space. It's going to have to be a high release stall. It does hit Mélenchon-Fournier in both hands, but the fingertips close a little bit too soon. Holmlund looking for Renström. Cheeky scuba pass over the top, a lead scuba, we love it. Whiteley getting turned around by some excellent cutting. And just dipping out of our sight for the score. This is Erik Erlandsson. So 5-2 to Sweden. This is familiar territory to Great Britain. They've been in the dirt through the first half so often, but then it's all about that second half. They're a real coming from behind team. Talking ahead of this game with Casey Flight, one of the players for GB, just discussing about how indoors is more of a game than a sport. And GB don't have a great opening move or opening series, as we see Haley Dahlman's hands open up in a very unpleasant way as she drops the Frisbee in the centre of the pitch. Seemed like it was well clutched, but then maybe a little bit of lack of focus. She's going to have to earn that block. Oh, but sneaking through, Lulu Boyd. Another defensive catch block, but throws it into traffic. There's a big collision. All called fair, though. Tizia Erlandsson coming over the top shoulder of Rona Gordon after getting the block. Hills takes a lot of contact, but it all called fair. Filippa Renström, I think perhaps saying she would have been out of bounds. GB with another opportunity. Boyd sends it back to Hopper. Across to Dahlman. Reminds me of my point I was making before. GB having good end game. Not so much of a great opening line. But it's all about the end game if you want to score and win matches. And Boyd finds Gordon. Boyd, of course, playing alongside Gordon at the World Ultimate Club Championships this summer gone. I got my facts wrong earlier on in the tournament. I think Boyd is indeed Masters eligible, but she did not play with Masterclass. Although, big shout out to all the Gravity girls watching the live streams. Shame to not have an Irish team entered into this indoor championships. I can't help but feel, with the love of overheads and zone that they have outdoors, this might well be another surface they would do quite well at. But Sara Eklund pops to Ungergaard. Just the pace at which these players throw and catch. My goodness, Sara Eklund manages to catch the disc and hold onto it even underneath the weight of Gemma Henry's body. But this is classic Swedish indoor style, that pacey, bladey movement. It's almost like she ends up pulling Gemma Henry back over that left shoulder as she pulls the disc through and to her body to Sara Eklund. Fantastic snatch. So this game having a interesting rhythm, smattering of breaks, but GB could still be in this. The Swedes started the game on offense, so there is that advantage there. So the scoreline might seem like a big deficit, but it's not the end of the world. Forzard in the end zone, juking around. It's going to be a lofty one. Hopper just recovering a little smile there. Dahlman with the no look. Forzard coming through. Dahlman under. Boyd hitting space. Not sure exactly what happened there because it's off screen. I think Dahlman might have gotten hand blocked. Missed that one. Either way. Boyd streaking up line. That was a great run and attack of the disc for Renström. However, The pressure that Tanya Fozard puts on defense manages to get that pressure block. So impressed with Fozard in this championship. Not one of the big names in GB Ultimate yet, but this might be the start of something. Oh, that's a lovely put. Dolman with the assist, just a nice flick to Hills. That'll do for Great Britain after a couple of turnovers. 6-4 the score. Just under half the game time expired. No timed half in this format, just a points half at 9. And of course, as Sarah Sparks, my fellow co-commentator in the quarter-final that GB played, was saying, Great Britain are a second half team. They'll have to get there first. Ungergaard. Fee-Ray trying to sneak the hand and gets a block! Huge piece of that, but Ungergaard with the rescue. Eklund coming unstuck though, under the pressure of Alexandra Hiley. Fozard all alone, no stall. Back to flight. Quinn going to that far corner. Flight happy to put it back to Fee-Ray. Quinn available, as is Fozard on the far side. Huge poachers off these resets. Quinn was there in time and plenty of room. GB maybe getting a little bit hasty when they get those opportunities, of which they will not have, I think, too many. Eklund has the shot available in the deep space, holsters it, does not want to bomb it deep to her sister. Big blade. Fozard nearly there. Viktorsson, lefty dish, pop pass, going for goal. Oh my goodness! Clawing at the disc and finding just the tip of the rim. Could see the way that clattered to the floor alongside her. Huge bid, but pops straight back up. Another opportunity for GB. Can they get it on second asking? Nice moves down the line from Quinn. Big one, adventurous Fee-Ray. Not to be. Disc back in the hands of the Swedes. Just needed a little bit more touch on that blade. Or maybe, as I keep undeniably calling them, cheeky scubas. Viktorsson opening up the hips on that one to run the disc down. Eklund. Ungergaard. The size of the swings that GB are forcing the Swedes into. But that's a nice little presence of mind movement there. Straight up drop from Sophia Eklund. Hiley. Fee-Ray probably needs to make a move or clear. Leave the space for somebody else. Move Eklund out of that space. Flight in the centre. Fozard. Cheeky blade. Goes with one hand. And you can see she knows. Puts her head on her hand on her head. Almost falcon punched that one out of the air. So 6-4 still here. As we see this game just grinding out. Katie Flight with the block. Well, that's what happened when you don't keep people busy. Devil makes work for idle hands. And Katie Flight running through. Gonna have to attack that one though. Sails over the top. An errant choice from Team GB. You can see the frustration. Travel called by Alex Hiley on the far side. So that one may well come back. Our production crew are getting so warm they're taking off layers. This game is hot, hot, hot. Eklund finds Viktorsson. Players running so hard right now. Big old pick on Sofia Eklund. Again, the size of these swing passes for the Swedes, showing how well they use the space, but also how much GB are pressuring them. It's going to be a lead hammer into the end zone. Viktorsson takes off and snags a goal for Sweden. 7-4, they maintain their 2-break lead. And a timeout taken, probably so that the teams can rest some of their star players. That was such a fantastic defensive stand for Great Britain to hold the Swedish O-line that long and get that many opportunities. It's a really solid effort. Although, let's not talk about the missed opportunities, shall we? They had quite a few. So early stages, really nice offense. There's around backhands for GB. Straight flicks, the speed on the Swedes. It's fantastic. But the adjustments have been about muscling in. There's lots of person coverage. Not too much in the way of help D, but Viktorsson at the end of that point just decided, no, enough's enough. I'm just going to turn on my jets, use all the nitrous oxide in my tank. I can always get another one. Oh, we have another scintillating semi-final on our hands in this women's division. It's hot here at the top. Of course, semi-finals happening simultaneously here across these venues. Finland versus Estonia in the mixed division, and some teams in the open. Hopper at the back finds Boyd. Gordon was available for a half a second, but replaced by Dahlman. Hopper grinding now. Not taken, doesn't like it. Gordon replacing. Hill's available with the poach. When it falls apart for GB in previous games, it's fallen apart in a big way, but this is a really good grind. Just the patience. Gordon available. The low break, and you can see the look on Oda Holmlund's face. She's dismayed. What happened there? She asks. What happened there was a lot of trust from Great Britain and a bit of a blown defensive coverage in the end zone. One-on-one in the end zone is always a nightmare, but when you let your player go about 3 meters, 4 meters free of you to one side, and you have elite level throwers on the pitch like you do for pretty much all the players on the pitch currently, bit of a bizarre thing to happen, but a hard-earned point, certainly not a gimme for Great Britain. But the Swedes now respond. Can they do it quickly? Yes, they can. That's a beautiful around flick blade from Sara Eklund. Nice quick fashion after that long, grindy offensive point they had to play. 8-5 now the score. Swedes within one of the half. 18 minutes left of these 42-minute games. And if we keep having these hotly contested close points, it's going to go nowhere near 17-point cap, but happy to have a bit of commentator's curse and be proved wrong. Boyd finds Hills. I say finds. She was there right next to her. Hills available for the over the top. No one really stretching it deep for Great Britain. There's quite a compressed field, which makes the defence's job that much easier. Hills tries to thread the needle. And it's going to be match for GB. The opportunity. Scuba over the top to order Holmlong. And you can see the misery look there on Sarah Hill's face. She was left one-on-one. Difficult to do, especially with the creative throwing power of Sweden. It's a nice way to finish it. Chichi Erlandsson having a pretty good game today. And that's going to be half-time for this women's semi-final. Sweden currently in the lead, 9-5.
We believe mixed is the best for the sport, for the world. That's why we're making a global showcase, starting in Europe, made in Amsterdam. ULTI.TV, ULTI.net.
Enjoying the show? Show your support for the live stream and the people making the show. Buy a super chat or super sticker on YouTube directly. Select your donation and type your message to the world. And share. All donations go into directly funding new shows. Buy a super sticker or super chat now. Thank you. Help us go electric, become a member.
Bichon picks up, and they've got a short field. They've got another goal. It's tied up at 12. I cannot believe what I'm seeing
Can
here.
Lola Dam chase that one down? That is a score for Harslinger Elverkel. Fantastic run by Julia Lund.
We're on a mission to make Ultimate huge.
And we believe that that requires knocking down the paywall.
We want our videos and live streams to be free to watch, and we want them to go viral.
When you become a member, you enable us to improve our working relationship.
Welcome back. Women's semi-final number 2 here in the women's division at the European Ultimate Indoor Championships 2022. I'm Hannah Pendlebury alongside the hard-working Zoom TV production crew, bringing you a partnership for ULTI.TV of all the games in this women's division at this championship. And my, oh my, what a set of teams we have in this top 4. Boyd finds Hiley. Great Britain looking to hold on. Currently trailing a couple breaks. Fozzard opens up the jets, but closes the hand around air. The pressure loaded on. It's going to be a few moments. I think GB might watch through gritted teeth. 2 players applying the force there. Taking around to Holmlong. Squeaking it through. Nielsen across. Tejin to Holmlong. Van Knight to the Valkyria start. Finds Tejin centre of the field. Oh, and it's just an easy around break. You see the little hand of apology from Rona Gordon. The Swedes go wild. 10-5, double digits and double the score of their opponents. Well, we know that GB are a second half team, but that is not the start they would have wanted coming through. But the pressure, perhaps a little bit of a forced option. Some fresh legs coming on for Great Britain. Pretty much the same 5. Katie Flight under the gaze of her watchful parents. Came to many of her tournaments as a junior, racing up line, but the miscue. Shona Whiteley. Sees the disc fall to the ground. Lindström with a cheeky scuba over the top and a blind block. Gemma Henry just puts a flail in the air. Like an inflatable arm waving man at a car dealership. But it works out. Up line to Katie Flight. Gets blocked out of contention by Order Holmlund. They know she wants those up lines. Maybe if she puts a bounce in on the next try, we'll see what happens. Van Eyte over the top, great grab by Nielsen. Holmlund into Van Eyte. Order Holmlund reaching as far as she can. This is real edge of the offensive abilities. That one's huge and it's just too far. Nearly knocking herself out on the gym ladder behind. Flashes through the memory of the last point. We had GB do the same thing. Trying to throw a big blade across, but too much pace. Running out of room. Whiteley in for the reset. It's going to have to be somebody coming under. Whiteley very close to that, about an inch away of the catch, but there's a call that's going to bring it back, saying that the disc actually touched the side, so it should have come in a different spot on the pitch. Some players did stop, so that one's going to come all the way back, and we'll restart. Questions being asked on the pitch of where you start. It would probably be from when the turnover happened, more or less. So everybody had Shona Whiteley up the line, which was the pass that hit the side off the paws of Katie Flight, but more or less we'll just tap it in when everyone agrees. So Nilsson, going to tap the disc back in. So live play, Van Eyte, Holmlund one-on-one with Katie Flight. Nobody likes that. Shona Whiteley coming in to play some help defense, has to peel away, but the disc is going to hit the hammer on the backboard. Wrong sport. This is flat ball, not basketball. I know the quality of my jokes are really deteriorating, but the quality of these games is very high. Fire poached off. Van Eyte trying to bait it. That one is a much better pass, straight into the bread box of Katie Flight. Henry hanging out in front. Ray patient. Dishes and goes. That's a lovely move from Fire up that far sideline. Mélenchon-Fournier just hanging out. Katie Flight blasting through. Someone's going to be free, but unfortunately cannot be hit. Gemma Henry. Maybe it should have just been have a go at Katie Flight in a pack of 3 defenders. It's like a running back sometimes. They're sneaky when they're small. Finds Shona Whiteley in the middle. Easy dish. Needs to engage now. Whiteley for the reset. Mélenchon-Fournier a little bit static, but that's a lovely lead flick from Gemma Henry, and at last they put the lid on that point. So 10-6 the score with 9 minutes remaining. Fantastic play from both teams. The Swedish defense. My oh my. And that was only the second point of the second half. Absolute scenes. Ongegård fakes off. Gonna have to take a big one around. Fossard has had her first taste of a Callahan in this championship in the previous game. Having to work doggedly to match Vittorsson, who is just so tireless. She never stops. Hitting the end zone. It's a lovely blade. You can see the frustration on Fossard. The dynamic movement of Vendetta Vittorsson is a thing of beauty. especially the way with which she moves so decisively, the way she sets up that cut. It's just off your view from the camera, but the determination with which she makes that first 3 steps is really easy for the thrower to see what part of the end zone she's going to be attacking. So it makes it really nice for the thrower. I would like, putting it out there, I would like to play Frisbee with Vendela Viktorsson. She is dynamite. Nice inside to Gemma Henry. Takes the reset to Boyd. And Fournier just dribbling towards the end zone and through the traffic. Alex Hiley with the clutch grab, just puts herself in the right space. A bizarre movement from Melanchon Fournier, really clustering up that space in front of the handler. Taking the mark with, but emptying out the end zone. So 11-7 the score. Just some trading now in the second half. This is the point where GB need to turn on the Jets. If they're going to have another fantastic comeback, this is where they have to start the campaign. Lovely pull, avoiding the struts. Nearly the poach block there for Dolman. Hills on the attack. Lovely expansive around back throw. Eklund has Viktorsson hitting that break space. Hills with the matchup this time for that lefty handler. Oh, Tanya Fozard with the block! Such a playmaker for Team GB on the defensive lines. A powerful athlete, Hiley just mincing around in the front. Fozard coming out. Really do like the fakes of Hiley. Moves those big matchups around. Often tasks with being marked by the tallest player on the pitch. Hiley now attacks the middle. Huge layout grab. Takes a half a beat just to compose herself as she gets back up. Has Dolman behind, poached off. Throws the inside to Fozard. Melanchon Fournier just trying to play the isolation. It's her job to just hang out in that deep space. It's a big scuba over the top. It might be too much. No, it is gold. Bury that and flip and draw a treasure map. Well, my words are not flowing quite as smoothly. And it's a real great point there for Great Britain. They got the block, and rather than early stages where they had a couple of opportunities, they got hasty, threw things away. That one was a real grinder, just gnawing away. And Alex Hiley with that huge redemption in the middle and then throwing that gorgeous scuba. It's a big shot straight off the bat. Lulu Boyd with a huge block and a huge hit. Zara Eklund knew she had to go big for that one. And almost like Wile E. Coyote, like a cartoon, hits that back wall. The hazard of playing indoors, of course. Great grab, Gemma Henry. Always going up for those big ones with 2. We love to see it. Down the line. Has Quinn, and it's another break for Great Britain. Come back, kids. Can it be? Suddenly it gets quite quiet here in this venue. The venue that inspires youngsters for the sport of basketball, where they learn and climb the pyramid, as they like to call it. The pinnacle of which, of course, the local home basketball team in the European League. But at the moment, putting the blocks together to create wonders that will last the test of time. It's the Swedes in front, but GB on the attack, flight close, but not close enough. Yeklund dishing and going. Upline, milking the extra yard out of that pass, grinding her sister. Hailey makes the bid. Ambitious, but you've got to do it, especially when a medal match guarantee is on the line. Of course, semi-finals, it's all about playing at that level. What a fantastic grind for the Swedes. The trust between the Yeklund sisters. They played together so long. 12-9 now the score. There's 4 breaks earned by Sweden, 2 for GB. They're going to need 3 more to win this one out. Hopper poached off. Dishes and goes, Henry turns. Hill's going to have to bounce now. All the way out. Lulu Boyd milking it a little bit. Cheeky scuba over the top. Milan Fournier, easy. I can't help it. I know it's a verbal tick, but a cheeky scuba every time, it feels so flirtatious. And Lulu Boyd taking that extra little step on the floaty pass. Great Britain. Goodness gracious me. 2 behind the Swedes. Time surely going to expire in this point. Unless it's just a route 1 pass straight to the end zone. Yeklund underneath. Vittorsson hanging out in the back. Erlandsen. I love the faces that Sofia Yeklund makes when she has the Frisbee. She's just so happy to be here. Fozzard trying to generate the poach block. Whiteley gives up the force in trying to get the block. Sits off. Stands away, opens up the break side completely though. Pick at the back of the end zone. There was a little scoop there where Sada Yeklund took Gemma Henry round the back of Erlandsen. Marlon Erlandsen, not a player we've talked about super often for Sweden, but she has put in an absolute shift. Has created some extremely useful opportunities, especially in the game against the Netherlands yesterday. Which of course is the reason why Sweden are on this side of the bracket. So time expiring. Game to 13, is it? No, game to 14. Vittorsson seals the deal and puts the Swedes 3 in front once more. Fantastic grab. Look at that. So, Coach Thomas Eriksson, just those extra sage pieces of advice for his team. Co-coaching alongside James Barneville. So first game point for Sweden on defense. GB with a must clutch point. Boyd and Flight marshalling at the back. I think that's one of the first times we've seen the 2 of them together. Highly underneath. Boyd nice and vocal. Easy toss to Flight. Henry coming across. He'd have to run that down. It just tipples out of her fingertips. Van Eyte bringing us back in. The talisman, well, one of for SUFC Valkyria. Of course, the silver medalists in the club championships back in 2020. No one redeems that, though. That almost seemed like there was an invisible player underneath for Henry. Second asking for GB. Flight. Flirting with the disc. Boyd now has Henry in the centre. This is good conservatism for Great Britain. Poach off is there. Boyd being wonderful and vocal, marshalling the offense, showing them what she wants. Oh my goodness, snag. That one doesn't get away from Gemma Henry after the last one she missed. Into the centre of the field, that's going to be a lot of contact Order Homlong, you can see there immediately. Well, she's still on the floor, almost like a Superman type thing. Signalling, yeah, I'm not going to contest that at all. Big old battle, but Order Homlong, fantastic defender. Fair fight between her and Flight. Gemma Henry muscling forward. Mélenchon Fournier just cut straight. And that is a painful miss for Great Britain. Van Nuijten with the disc has Homlong completely poached off. Big flick around. Well kept. Olansson, huge blade! And that is it. The Swedes will advance, and deservedly so. Great celebration. GB had a look at the comeback. But that was such a fantastic shot. Gigi Erlandsson hitting the Enstrom with a blade to finish us off. What a high-octane semi-final. Sweden with those breaks to start us off unanswered in the first half. And GB, some fantastic plays, but didn't quite manage to seal the deal when they had it. Great efforts from both teams. We will have both of them playing tomorrow. We're going to start off your day with semi-finals, bronze medal action at 10 a.m, which will be GB versus, of course, the Lithuanians. And then, of course, your gold medal contenders, Sweden and the Netherlands. A rematch from their scintillating group stage matchup. So, wrapping up the championship bracket games for today. That'll do us for now, but stay tuned. We're going to have 2 placement games for you. First, it's going to be Poland versus the Ukraine to decide the 7th and 8th positions, and then a 5-6 later on to finish us off for today. So, stay tuned for that. We'll be back with you in about 1/4 of an hour, so grab yourself a drink, and we'll be right back after these.